AI accelerator and a 2000 plus core RISC-V GPU, marking the country's transition from buying global supercomputers to designing an end-to-end sovereign compute stack under NSM 2.0. Good evening. So when it comes to AI, the world really is optimistic about India. And today, we got the loudest proof yet. Microsoft is putting in $17.5 billion, around, 1.45 lakh crore rupees, into India's AI future over the next 4 years. Guess what? Their largest investment in Asia, the biggest AI infrastructure bet by any tech company on Indian soil, all announced after this meeting in Delhi. Satya Nadella and Prime Minister Narendra Modi shaking hands and very quietly redrawing the AI map of Asia. It wasn't just Satya Nadella. Prime Minister Modi also held back-to-back meetings with Cognizant CEO Ravi Kumar and CMD S. Rajesh Warrier and Intel CEO Lip Bhutan, aligning India's AI roadmap, semiconductor manufacturing push, skilling agenda, and the country's emerging role as a global AI compute hub at a moment when Microsoft, Intel, and Cognizant are each making multi-billion-dollar commitments to India. Now, coming back to Satya Nadella. And in a major signal of how India's industrial giants are syncing with Microsoft's AI roadmap, Gautam Adani met Satya Nadella today, discussing the future of technology, expanding their 360-degree partnership, and even receiving a hands-on demonstration of the AI apps Nadella is personally building. So what exactly is Microsoft buying with $17.5 billion? And what does it mean for India's AI infrastructure? So for 310 million informal workers, and for every developer watching this from Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Pune, or a tier 3 town, and what can we actually expect tomorrow from Microsoft's AI tour in Bengaluru, where AIM network will be on the ground? So if you're ready, let's break it down. But before that, as we always do this as a ritual on front page, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, it's as simple as that. This is Front Page by AIM Network. So if you're set, let's get into it. First, the headline move. Between 2026 and 2029, Microsoft will invest $17.5 billion in India. This comes on top of the $3 billion AI plus cloud commitment, which Satya announced in January 2025. So we are actually looking at over $20 billion earmarked for one idea, which is make India AI first on infrastructure, skills, and digital sovereignty. Officially, Microsoft frames it as 3 pillars. First one being scale, hyperscale AI. Second one being infrastructure skills, 20 million people trained in AI by 2030. And the final one, probably the most important one, sovereignty. India-ready, compliant cloud for sensitive data. Simply put, more GPUs, more jobs, more guardrails is what it actually translates to. So Microsoft is building what could become India's AI backbone. Its new India South Central Cloud region in Hyderabad, live mid-2026, will be Microsoft's largest hyperscale region in the country, with 3 availability zones and a footprint equal to, 2 Eden Gardens. Existing regions in Chennai, Hyderabad, and Pune are also expanding, giving enterprises, startups, and government low latency AI compute without relying on GPUs abroad. This is AI public infrastructure. The same way UPI became rails for payments, these data centers become rails for AI apps, agents, and national platforms. Microsoft is also launching sovereign public cloud for India-specific compliance and governance, sovereign private cloud Azure Local for workloads running in customer/partner data centers. Even offline, Microsoft 365 Local plus Copilot Local processing by end of 2025. So keeping all prompts and responses inside India, crucial for government, BFSI, and healthcare. The bottom line, for everyone asking, where is my data? Which jurisdiction? Which GPU? Microsoft's answer is this: your AI can live and run entirely within India. But infrastructure is only half the story. The second big pillar is AI at population scale. Microsoft is plugging Azure OpenAI into two of India's most important labor platforms, eShram, the Registry for Informal Workers, National Career Service, NCS, which is the National Jobs and Careers Platform. Together, these platforms touch over 310 million informal workers, including street vendors, daily wagers, domestic workers, gig workers. So with AI, they get this: multilingual access in Indian languages via Bhashini, AI-assisted job matching, predictive analytics on skills and demand, automatic resume generation, personalized pathways from informal to formal jobs, and social security. Remember, when India's social protection coverage has jumped from roughly 1/4 of the population to nearly 2/3 in just a few years. So if this works, AI stops being a buzzword in boardrooms and becomes something that literally decides who gets a job, a pension, or insurance for that matter. This is where AI diffusion at population scale stops being a slide and starts being someone's first formal paycheck. Microsoft pledged to skill 10 million Indians in AI by 2030 and has actually already trained 5.6 million since January of 2025. So through Advantage India initiative, now they're doubling the target to 20 million. This matters because, well, a large share of learners come from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Many are women, young professionals, and career switchers. Over 125,000 people have already secured jobs or entrepreneurial opportunities through these programs. This aligns with a broader shift Satya often highlights. India is now the largest source of new developers on GitHub and is on course to become the world's biggest developer community by 2030. We've, of course, covered this extensively on Front Page, including our exclusive conversation with Amanda Silver, Microsoft's product leader for VS Code, GitHub Copilot, and Azure's AI native ecosystem. I remember where she actually mentioned and she talks about India's fast-growing developer momentum and the new wave of AI-driven enterprises emerging from the country. If you are a developer or founder building with agents, please, I definitely implore you, it is a must-watch. It is an education, a masterclass. Anyway, now, as far as Microsoft's bet is concerned, it is quite simple. Build the infrastructure, skill the people, and let Indian developers do the rest. Most importantly, there is a quieter strategic layer right here: trust and geopolitics. India wants to be a frontier AI nation, but on its own terms: data residency, regulatory control, and digital sovereignty. Microsoft wants to be the go-to AI partner for governments and enterprises that care about compliance as much as compute. Hence, sovereign cloud offerings, in-country Copilot processing, zero-water data center cooling, designs, and renewable energy contracts with companies like Renew and AmPlus. So a community fund for environmental justice and women's livelihoods tied to those power contracts. This, in a way, is hinting at a race for who becomes the trusted AI operating system for countries. And right now, India is one of Microsoft's most important test beds. For India's AI and SaaS ecosystem, this $17.5 billion delivers three immediate shifts. The first one, cheaper, closer compute startups no longer need to push workloads to distant regions and hope latency cooperates. Training models, running agents, and large-scale retrieval become far more viable within India. Number two, a higher bar for the industry. If Microsoft executes, Google, AWS, Oracle, and Meta will all face the same question, which is, what's your India AI infrastructure and skilling roadmap? Number three, AI as an exportable public good platforms like eShram and NCS already running on Azure can be packaged and exported as digital public goods, co-designed by India and Microsoft. So infrastructure, influence, and impact all at once. And now, let's zero in on tomorrow. Satya Nadella moves from Delhi to Bengaluru for the Microsoft Leadership Connection and AI Tour. And AIM Network will be on ground to cover it. We'll be, of course, there talking to developers, partners, and Microsoft leaders about what this $17.5 billion actually feels like on the ground. Please make sure to tune in, and you do not want to miss this one. And now, as we always say, it is time for the front page take. This is what we feel. A decade ago, the big India story was digital public infrastructure, Aadhaar, UPI, FASTag. Today, we may be watching the start of an AI public infrastructure, GPUs, sovereign cloud, and population scale platforms like eShram and NCS, all wired with AI. Microsoft's $17.5 billion bet is a signal. The AI race in Asia doesn't just pass through India. In many ways, it starts here. Tomorrow, we'll bring you the sights, sounds, and sharpest conversations from the Microsoft AI Tour in Bengaluru. If you're there, come say hi. Until then, well, this is Front Page by AIM Network. Oh yes, and of course, like, share, and subscribe. And remember, yeah, I heard you. Think AI, think AIM. Just when you were still processing Microsoft's $17.5 billion India announcement, Amazon walked in and said, please hold my prime. Tonight, Amazon has committed $35 billion in India by 2030 across AI, cloud, logistics, exports, and job creation. That means in 1 week, global tech giants have announced over $52 billion worth for India's digital future. Microsoft plus Amazon, AI plus cloud, infrastructure plus inclusion. The investment FOMO is real. This is core infrastructure capital, and it changes India's next decade. Just when you were still processing Microsoft's $17.5 billion India announcement, Amazon walked in and said, excuse me, hold my prime, please. Tonight, Amazon has committed $35 billion in India by 2030 across AI, cloud, logistics, exports, and job creation. That means in 1 week, global tech giants have announced over $52 billion worth for India's digital future. Microsoft plus Amazon, AI plus cloud, infrastructure plus inclusion. The investment FOMO is real. This is core infrastructure capital, and it changes India's next decade. Welcome to Front Page by AIM Network. Oh, and of course, before we dive deep, you know what to do. Yes, like, share, and subscribe. So, well, at the Amazon Sambhav Summit in New Delhi, Senior VP Amit Agarwal announced $35 billion fresh investment by 2030 on top of the $40 billion Amazon has already invested since 2010, focused on AI-driven digitization, export growth, and job creation, with a goal to quadruple India's cumulative exports to $80 billion and support 3.8 million jobs across tech, logistics, packaging, and MSMEs. Keystone's economic report calls Amazon India's largest foreign investor, India's largest e-commerce export enabler, one of India's biggest job engines. This basically is Amazon embedding itself into India's growth model. Let's take a bird's eye view. In the last few days, what has happened? Microsoft, $17.5 billion for AI plus cloud infrastructure, India's biggest hyperscale region. Amazon, $35 billion across e-commerce, AWS, logistics, exports. Google, $15 billion over 5 years for AI data centers. And this is not a coincidence. This is a global strategic repositioning toward India. Question is why? Because India is now a priority AI plus cloud market, not an offshore center. The world's biggest engineering talent pool is here. AI adoption in India's SMB sector is accelerating faster than any major economy. Digital public infrastructure allows AI to scale nationwide, not just in metros. India has moved from big market to AI growth engine. AI for 15 million small businesses. This builds directly on what we broke earlier on front page. Amazon's $12.7 billion AI push for Bharat. Yes, Amazon now wants to bring AI to 15 million SMBs, hundreds of millions of Indian shoppers. So every Amazon seller using AI co-pilots by default can expect this. AI-generated catalogs, agentic seller assistants, automated pricing plus demand forecasting, Creative Studio for instant ads/videos, next-gen command centers for SMBs who never had buy teams. So, a seller in Hubli or Muradabad now gets Fortune 500 grade intelligence without a tech team. This is the sleeper story. Amazon will deliver AI curriculum aligned to NEP 2020, hands-on sandboxes, career tours, teacher training, classroom-ready AI tools, 4 million government school students entering the AI economy with early literacy. Well, as India AI Mission CEO Abhishek Singh said, AI in classrooms is not a skills initiative. It's actually a nation-building effort, end quote. This commitment layers over Amazon's previous India infrastructure push, which was $12.7 billion cloud plus AI infrastructure in Telangana and Maharashtra. Lower latency AI workloads for enterprises. India first AI models like Artham. The 7B financial SLM showcased at AWS reInvent. AWS Marketplace now in India, which is 30,000 listings, INR billing, India first AI ISVs. So basically, this creates the AI operating system for India's next decade, powering startups, banks, insurers, agri platforms, healthcare, infrastructure, government workloads. Amazon basically wants to shift India from consumer market to global digital producer. By 2030, this is what will happen. $80 billion cumulative exports, 1 million new jobs created, MSMEs selling globally without ever leaving India, logistics infrastructure built at unprecedented scale, parallel industries, which is packaging, transport, warehousing, modernized via AI. Today's announcement also escalates the big tech India race. Microsoft is pushing sovereign AI plus cloud plus training for 20 million Indians. Google is building AI data centers plus Gemini ecosystems. Amazon is fusing e-commerce, AI, logistics, exports, education, cloud. As we can see, this is no longer about market share. This is about who powers India's AI decade. And Amazon just took the lead with a $35 billion statement. Now the question is, who is next? Please let us know what you think in the comments below. This is Front Page by AIM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM, and the lights will be back on soon.
We are AIM Media House. Born in Nama, Bengaluru. Built for the world. We make tech make sense. We tell stories that matter. This is the era of AI, and we are the ones telling its story. Think AI, think AIM.
The government is creating 1,000 crore startups. 1,000 crore startup of fund of funds. Use these resources, use these funds, and become the next Google. Only one suggestion is that you have to become one more Google from Hyderabad, Telangana. My government is creating
That was
1,000
Telangana
crore
CM
startups.
Revant Reddy Garu's blunt message to
1,000
startups.
crore startup
Translation?
of
Don't just build
funds,
startups,
fund
build
of funds.
the next Google. Anyway, coming back to the news,
these resources,
it's still not over,
use
guys.
these funds,
Just when we were
and
still
become the
digesting
next
Amazon's
Google.
$35 billion
Only
India push,
one
just
suggestion
when
is
Microsoft's
that
$17.5
you
billion
have to become
AI
one
plus
more
cloud
Google
investment was
from
sinking
Hyderabad,
in,
Telangana.
Google just dropped another bomb today. Hyderabad now has the first ever Google for Startups hub in India. And Telangana CM Revanta Reddy has announced a 1,000 crore rupees fund of funds to turn Hyderabad into a 100 unicorn factory. And this comes on top of Google's massive India bets. 87,520 crore rupees, which is about $15 billion, AI data center in Visakhapatnam. Google plus Accel Fund to back early AI startups. Google AI Futures Fund investing in Indian agentic AI founders. India's tech FOMO? Well, it's officially real. So if you're all set, let's break down what this actually means. Oh, and of course, before we do, you know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. So if you're all set, at Hyderabad's iconic T-Hub, Google and the Telangana government launched the Google for Startups Hub, only the fifth of its kind globally and the first in India. This hub is not a co-working space. This is Google-grade infrastructure for India's next AI wave, which is free one-year co-working seats for selected AI-first startups, AI and / machine learning labs, plus hands-on Google mentorship, UX, product, GTM, infra deep dives, direct market bridges to the US, EU, APAC, curated venture investors inside the hub, programs for women founders, Tier 2/Tier 3 innovators, students. This is basically Google building an AI launchpad inside Hyderabad. And on the same stage, CM Revant Reddy made the announcement nobody expected. We are creating a 1,000 crore rupees startup fund of funds, end quote. Why? Because Telangana wants product-first startups, deep tech startups, IP-heavy startups, AI-first companies born in Hyderabad. His message to founders was blunt. Don't just build a startup, become the next Google. Inspirational. This fund ties directly into Telangana's Vision 2047, which is the $1 trillion economy by 2034, $3 trillion economy by 2047, and at least 100 Hyderabad-born unicorns. So as we can see, this is no longer policy talk. This is capital plus infrastructure plus global partnership on the ground. So the question is, why is Google doubling down on India? This move didn't happen in isolation. In the last few months alone, Google's India bets are 87,520 crore rupees, approximately $15 billion at the AI data center in Vizag. Google plus Accel partnership to fund 10 Indian AI startups. Google AI Futures Fund investing in Indian agentic AI platforms like Emergent Free. Gemini Access for 505 million Geo users. Investments in India First models plus speech AI via Vani, Tunsutra, etc. So Jonathan Silber from Google put it best. Indian founders will define the next era of global technology, end quote. And Google is not betting on India, Google is betting through India. Hyderabad today has one of India's biggest AI plus cloud talent pools, the largest startup incubator, T-Hub, a booming life sciences and pharma tech ecosystem. GPU cluster demand rising 4 to 5 times. Services giants now pivoting to product plus IP, the Google Hub, plus Telangana's 1,000 crore fund of funds is the perfect flywheel, which gives us AI-first founders translating to global infrastructure, translating to global markets, to local capital. Exactly how Silicon Valley scaled its first wave. This changes the game. Global mentorship without leaving Hyderabad, state-backed capital at scale. Google's AI stack for early-stage startups, market access for deep tech builders, visibility in the global Google for startups network. So if Amazon is betting on India's SMB digitization and Microsoft is betting on India's AI infrastructure, Google clearly is betting on India's AI-first boundaries, which is 3 different bets, but one direction. India is becoming the world's next innovation platform. This is Front Page by AIM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM. And finally on Front Page, an exclusive. India unveils its first supercomputing processors. The next Param moment. It's finally happening. India has just dropped the most important supercomputing revelation of the decade. And you won't hear this anywhere else, trust me, because we got it directly from the man building India's sovereign compute backbone, E. Magesh, Director General of C-DAC. On the sidelines of Supercomputing India 2025 in Bengaluru, he very quietly confirmed something India has never said publicly, which is India's own supercomputing processors, CPUs, GPUs, and AI accelerators are all now in advanced development and are arriving very soon. This is India officially entering the global arena as a chip-designing supercomputing nation. And tonight, we break down that very roadmap exclusively. But before we start, like, share, subscribe. This one genuinely matters. So to understand why this changes everything, we need to rewind back to the Param era. In 1991, after being denied supercomputers by the West, India built Param 8000 from scratch. Then came Param 10,000 in 1998, Param Siddhi AI in 2020, top 100 globally Param Rudra, Arka, Arunika 2021 to 2024, Param 10,000 in 2024. So India's new AI HPC workhouse. With each Param generation was also a message. If the world won't give us compute, we build our own. But until now, India still relied on imported CPUs, GPUs, and accelerators. Today, that changes. This exclusive roadmap takes India from supercomputing systems to supercomputing silicon, the final frontier. India's publicly announced HPC CPU OM now, which has an updated clarity, which is 96 core based on ARM. Neoverse V2 designed with MOS chip, which was from India, plus Socio Next, which is from Japan, built on TSMC 5 nanometer, which is part of India's NSM 2.0 push for 70% plus indigenization. Sampling is expected around 2026, confirmed again by Magesh. This is the first time a C-DAC chief has given a very clear sampling window on camera. This part has never been publicly detailed ever before. That's what makes this so much more special. Magesh, of course, went on to confirm India has been working for 2 years on a fully indigenous, ground-up 128-core RISC-V HPC processor. No x86, no ARM full architectural control designed for India's exascale ambitions, built entirely in India. So this is India's boldest compute project since Param Siddhi AI. You may have actually heard the rumors about India building GPUs. Tonight, we confirm. C-DAC is developing India's first indigenous GPU with 2000 plus cores RISC-V architecture optimized for HPC plus AI fusion workloads. The only regions that design GPUs at this scale are the United States, China, Europe, and India now joins that list. Already deployed in Rudra class Param systems, switchless 3D Torus fabric, ultra low latency, built in, India removes dependency on foreign interconnect vendors. This is actually how India scales very cheaply and, more importantly, efficiently. All C-DAC supercomputers already use this direct contact liquid cooling, cold plates on CPU/GPU, dual stage heat exchange, which dramatically lower PUE. So, with the global compute hitting an energy ceiling, India is already on the right cooling stack. Now, here is the front page take, and we are very proud to give this one. This is India's biggest compute upgrade since Param 8000. But for all the announcements, one moment stood out, an unusually honest one. Magesh told us this. Yes, India started slow, but now we are accelerating faster than anyone because we are not assembling machines anymore. We are designing the entire stack ourselves, end quote. That's the story. India didn't lack capability. No, India lacked time. Now we are compressing a 20-year gap into the next 5. This is compute sovereignty. This is strategic independence. And this is the next Param moment, but much, much bigger. And now, as promised, here is the full ground report from our very senior editorial producer and very special Amit Rajanayak, which was live from Supercomputing India 2025. Over to you, Amit, and you enjoy.
Hello everyone. We have E. Magesh, who's the Director General of C-DAC and the brain behind this particular summit that is happening today. So Magesh, sir, how exciting was it, and what are the key takeaways from this particular event that happened today? And with all the right stakeholders and partners, education institutions, everyone coming together for one agenda here. So can you tell our viewers what exactly are we doing here today, and why this event is going to be the beginning of something that is going to change how India looks at supercomputers or quantum computing and HPC there? Yeah.
So today's event, CI 2025, is about high performance computing, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing. So it's a platform where all these technologies come together.
Correct.
So in the past, we used to visit USA for a supercomputing conference, Hamburg, Germany for the same conference, and conferences Japan and Singapore and other places. But this is the first time, this is the first inaugural edition of ACI India, which we have managed to bring it to the country. So that this will be a regular affair.
Understood.
So we will have turns, just like Olympics. We'll be hosting this kind of supercomputing event in the country.
Got it.
So the purpose of this event is to bring together who is who in this area, this particular supercomputing area. Bring together researchers, industry, academicians, and students and other interested parties, so that we democratize the need and creation of supercomputing in the country and for the world also. So far it has been very expensive stuff, only meant for elite, so elite academies.
Okay.
So we want to make sure all institutes in the country gets access to the machines at affordable cost, or at least made available to them. So that is the very purpose, and we also make sure we go ground up and build components and then systems based on the components and clusters out of this racks solution. That is the intent.
Got it.
And this event, a lot of we have stalls, more than 200 plus stalls have been put up by many academician, industries, others. In fact, this event is sponsored by VVDN, Electronics Manufacturing Services Company, and Mahabi Institute, Research Institute. They have sponsored this venue for us. This wonderful venue that you are seeing here is hosting this event for the first time. In fact, this event is the first thing they are also hosting it.
Got it. So the venue, the campus, everything was beautiful. So
yes.
And one question, sir. C-DAC has been, at the forefront of, Rudra computers, Param Siddhis,
yes,
and also programming languages and all of that. India has the capability to, scale locally and build everything here.
Yes.
For our, critical mission, data mission there. I just want to understand, like, what is the roadmap for C-DAC going ahead in terms of, I think I heard the Ashwini Vaishnav's keynote as well, the inaugural note there, where he mentions certain things about, the impact on the Indian IT sector. So think in that area, and plus he also mentioned about GPUs coming in, and the work has already started aggressively.
Yeah.
And this event is kind of that culmination of bringing everyone together and to accelerate that. So what can we expect from C-DAC in the coming days? How is that vision aligned with your IT Minister's vision there?
We are completely aligned with the Honorable Minister's vision. In the past, we have been buying computers. We have been buying clusters, putting it together, and making this supercomputer work.
Correct.
But this particular mission, which started in around 2015-16, we consciously decided that we will not buy and keep machines. We will design and manufacture in the country, and then commission these machines across the country. And that has already happened. Last year, when the Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated 3 machines, which was designed, manufactured, and assembled and commissioned in the country. These are called Rudra's supercomputers. Each node is called Rudra server.
Got it.
So we put together multiple of that and create the Rudra cluster.
Got it.
We also have something called Trinetra interconnect.
Correct.
This is also homegrown, completely homegrown 3D torus network controllers. It doesn't need switch. It directly connects to the adjacent nodes in a particular model.
Correct.
So that it can be connected in a way the application needs. So there is least latency and you get better performance out of it.
Got it.
Going forward, when the next mission comes, it's in the process. The DPR preparation is in the process.
Got it.
So the intention is to go 70% plus total indigenous systems. So we will have HPC processor, which is already, the work is already happening.
Nice.
We are calling it WOM processor. It's a 96 core processor.
Got it.
Based out of ARM architecture, and mid next year or year after that, we'll be sampling those chips and we'll be putting up clusters as a POC, and that is one roadmap. And another one is complete ground up. No, not use x86, not use ARM. We will go with open source RISC-V architecture.
Yes.
So we have complete control over the architecture. So we design ground up. We have already started the work. Almost 2 years of effort has already gone into that. So we will have our own HPC processor. It should be 128 core. Well, not 96, it will be a 128 core. We will have an AI accelerator, which will be 1000 plus, 1024 plus cores.
Got it.
And then we will have GPUs, again 2000 plus cores.
Got it.
Okay, which is based out of streaming processors.
Got it.
And then we have scale out accelerators and scale up accelerator. These are network, which is connecting the GPUs together or the CPUs together. So all of these are indigenous technologies done ground up. So based out of RISC-V architecture. In fact, we contribute to the RISC-V foundation, new instruction set that we define and we create.
Got it.
So that industry, the ecosystem partners, they are all in sync and we can start offering these solutions to everybody. Apart from this, we talked about a lot of accelerators, GPUs and CPUs and network accelerators, IO chiplets and all that.
Okay.
So we need software that should work across all different heterogeneous architectures.
Okay.
So we have something called Pinaka Studio. It's a software development kit that is done by C-DAC, Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad and other centers. So it will make sure that users, they don't have to learn new new SDKs or new softwares. So they write their software as they want, naturally, regular fashion, and then the underlying architecture or the architecture difference is handled by this Pinaka Studio, and it becomes seamless for them. So the effort becomes very less for them, so that they have all application to be easily ported onto this heterogeneous architectures and systems.
So software, also liquid cooling also is there.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, we have all of our machines, the 37 installation in the country. So they're all liquid cooled, direct contact liquid cooled. So there's a cold plate which sits on top of the CPU or the GPU, and then liquid is circulated, and this heat exchange happens in two phases. One is an primary heat exchanger and the secondary heat exchanger. So the intention is to just make sure that you cool sufficiently enough to bring it down to the room temperature. Okay. So which means that we have large savings in power.
Got it.
Okay, instead of cooling the whole rack or the whole building, you just need to bring down the temperature, junction temperature on the CPU and the GPU. So this focused liquid cooling system will help in reducing the temperature at the very least power. So we got very good power utilization factor.
So yeah, on a final note, I think I'm taking a lot of your time. Just a final message, and how far are we from rest of the world when it comes to US or China?
So we are not that far off. So in fact, the home processor development started before the European Union started.
Okay.
So we lost a way in between. I have to be very frank in accepting that. But we are on track now.
Amazing.
So we are the fourth country worldwide to even attempt to making that kind of a CPU.
That's very good. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And a final message, sir, how exciting this particular phase is, and how is C-DAC aggressively hiring, or are you looking for talent, and what?
Yes, we are looking for
Yeah.
talent. We want to pick the best talent in the country and retain them and nurture them and make them part of this historic journey of making
Yes.
high performance computer for the country.
Correct.
And we have seen good response. Recently, we published an ad
Yes.
for about 300 plus scientists to be onboarded.
Got it.
We got very good response.
Got it.
So we are scrutinizing, and soon we'll be onboarding this.
On board.
And the package is also at par with industry.
Amazing.
So, though we can't give ESOPs and
Correct.
onshore, offshore assignments,
Correct.
but at least we can match the industry salary in the country.
Amazing. And also you get to work with all the like-minded intellects
Yes.
who are building amazing stuff, the futuristic things.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you.
wonderful talking to you,
Thank
and
you.
all the best. And the next 3 days, I wish you all success.